Hello there, this is Dave Etty, the most amateur of amateur astronomers, but I thought I'd share a few of my results which have been achieved during the last 12 months. As you can see, very much in an urban environment, Washington, Tyne and Wear, where I'm sure streetlights breed overnight. Anyway, let's move on to this first slide. There's a couple of lunar montages, both of which were taken with my Nikon camera on my Celestron 925 and then processed and montaged in Photoshop. Different phasing, as you can see, of the moon, different craters featuring on the Terminator. Nonetheless, quite pleasing. I enjoy doing montages, even though getting a match between the various components can be a challenge. Nonetheless, very enjoyable. This is the planet Saturn. First time this year that, well, first time ever really, that I've done any imaging of Saturn using my Next Image 5 on the Celestron. It's very low altitude above the horizon, but I have to say we've had a couple of nights where I've been able to get quite reasonable images despite that, and learned a lot, I think, about processing this particular planet's images to achieve a reasonable result. Always more to go for, but very nice, I think, and holds promise for the future as and when the money allows perhaps a slightly better camera. Mars. This, I have to say, is probably the only acceptable image of Mars that I've actually captured, partly because of its low altitude, partly because of the trees that obscure it from the point that I observe. But nonetheless, same basic process. Next Image 5 on the Celestron, using Sharp Cap, and then through PIP and AS2 and Registex 6 before Photoshop. Quite enjoyed using the NIC collection rather, which I now have plugged into Photoshop, that is very effective at sharpening and noise reduction, and a definite plus in terms of what I've been able to do with Photoshop. Mercury transit. For once we had an absolutely perfect day for viewing the transit. Actually from the Durham Astronomical Society observing site near Durham, and it was a flawless blue sky. Everything was absolutely perfect, much to everyone's amazement. This is a straightforward white light shot using Barda filter attached to the top of my 925, but with a very much reduced aperture. This is the moon. Actually, it says Celestron 925, but it could actually be through the 14-inch Meade at the wetlands at the Sunderland Astronomical Society. To be honest, I didn't mark this file very well, so I'm not quite sure. Straightforward camera shot of the moon moving towards occultation of Aldebaran. Used incandescent light just for aesthetics, really. Just a nice little shot achieved by merging two exposures, one for the star and the clouds and one for the moon. Another shot of the moon, this time using a 2x Barlow, the area around Mare Nectaris. Quite nice. Still got to improve my focusing on the moon, but all in all, getting there. this is the general view from my back garden. As you can see, the local council provide adequate illumination, unfortunately. There are certain spots where I can avoid street lights, but this was a shot of Gemini just coming up into the sky. Crescent moon using my little Mac 127. A lovely little scope, very much my grab and go. Convenient. I can keep it permanently stored in the back of my car, so it's always there to be used as and when opportunity arises. My favourite double star, Alberia. It's always a point of fascination for people on our various events, when it's available, of course, because it's got such a nice colour separation, and people are always intrigued that it's a physical double rather than just a simple line of sight. Now there's that well-known constellation of Orion, looking southwest from my garden. I took this shot, and then you'll see on the next shot I changed the light and zoomed in a little bit. This is just a single shot, and because I moved up the ISO, it's a bit noisy, but it was like a prelude to this, which was using the 925 again and an intervalometer to take a sequence of shots, which I then process through Deep Sky Stacker. I'm not greatly experienced in deep sky photography, and Orion is the obvious initial target for people without experience, because it's so bright and it's such a fantastic object. Even just looking at it visually, it's quite inspiring.